Let me tell you something, Tula. The man is the head, but the woman is the neck. And she can turn the head any way she wants.
I wish I understood why that movie is so funny. We have made our model. Let's see if we can get those hats. I want to do this slowly in 2 different ways because a lot of students are still struggling. Let's make a different prediction equation for each of the 4 different categories. All of them are going to need an X hat to go with it. For the Y hat, I'm going to have a different equation based off whether we're talking about alternative, classical, the control group, or rock music. Let's start with alternative. That one's easy because it's the baseline. I'm going to use this y-intercept right there and plus the 1.50133. That's this guy who is the baseline slope for the number of errors, which is errors hat. That's all I need for alternative. There's the baseline prediction equation. For classical, I'm going to use the baseline because everybody is going to have, in fact, I'll just add the baseline to everybody right now. What does alternative, no, this is classical. What does classical have extra? Well, here we go, and this is not connected to errors. This is part of the category music classical piece. So that number here gets added on, and this here is our slope change. How did I know it was slope change? Because it's connected to errors. So that has errors hat there, except I think I put error hats specifically so that it looked appropriate. And now control hat, it has this extra piece tacked on. How did I know that? Because it says control right there. And for the slope, we're talking about the slope on errors. I need the error control piece. That's this guy right here. And he is times error hats. What does rock need? It needs a term right here, and it's going to need a slope effect as well for error hats. There's my 4 different prediction equations. I haven't simplified them, which I could by adding these pieces together, but I'm going to leave it like this for right now because I'm hoping that people who are going through this will have a little easier time being able to tell what went on there. I'm going to make lines of my Y hat based off the X hat. This one's specifically for alternative, and I will need all 4, where I just specify whether it's alternative, classic, control, or rock. And now I want to match the same color scheme that I was using before. Of course, I can never remember the order. Okay, so first is black, then red, then green 3. Green 3 isn't showing up here. Okay, see, I get to pause the video and figure this out, but I'll tell you what I did. The palette was telling me black, red, green, blue, and my picture didn't have any green showing up, and I thought, that's weird. So then I looked at my different levels here, and I saw lowercase classical and uppercase classical are still there. Well, up here I took care of that, but I didn't take care of it by erasing the category. I only took care of it by fixing all the uppercases to be lowercase in this code here. So because of that, when I look at my data, I don't have any more data in the capital case classical, only lowercase. So here is black, red. There wasn't any green because I rewrote all these to be lowercase. And so blue and cyan, that's why my picture looks like this. So now I know my order for colors is black, red, skip green because there isn't any data in that category, blue, and then cyan. Interesting object. Oh, did I not? Yeah, okay. I forgot to put the multiply sign here. I was just putting the number next to all these different errors. I did put multiply over there. So once again, I get to pause the video. You don't. You have to understand this is part of what it takes to learn how to get this coding right. Yay, there's my lines. They don't seem thick enough, but I can fix that. And let's put a legend here. And this code is available, so you can see that there. Interestingly, this whole problem of one of the categories not having any data would have been fixed if I had used this command, which I grayed out. It would have then made these 2 categories lumped together, and it wouldn't have remembered that there used to be a capital classical anymore. So I guess there is a difference which of these commands you use, but as long as you can keep it straight, it's going to be okay. I promised you at the beginning I wanted to show you 2 different ways of doing this. The other method comes back here to my original output. Instead of separating it into all those different equations, I could also make just one prediction equation. Whatever number is here times whatever's on this side. Intercept, of course, doesn't need to be there, that's why it's in parentheses. This number times errors. There's that number times errors right there. And all the way down the list. This will still have the same error hat that we had before, but now I also need to include this classical hat and this control hat that's referenced here in this equation. I need a hat for every one of my categories except for the baseline. Now if I want to plot it, I'm going to run through this code where I have 0, 0, 0. That means I'm working with the alternative because I'm not working with classical, not working with control, not working with rock. That must mean I am working with alternative, and that needs to be a black line. If I want to draw the next one, which is going to be classical, so I'm going to turn classical on and change the color to be red. Running this bit of code gives me the red line. Let's copy all this and paste. Now I'm going to turn on the control group. What was the control group? It was the blue colored group. Let's run this bit of code. There's the blue line. Copy, paste. I want to do rock, not control. So I'm gonna turn this. Did I have? Oh no! Look right here. I just made a mistake. I said it was classical and the control group at the same time. That's not okay. I need to turn that off. That will give me a different blue line. Oh no! Should I back up the video? No. Let's just come all the way up here and start over. Run all these lines of code. There's the black line, the red line, the blue line, and here I want rock, which is the cyan line. There we go. And we use the same code for the legend as before. Two different ways. One splits it into all these different equations, and you have to figure out which number belongs to which equation. The other method only has one equation, and you have to copy and paste it and change which category you're talking about to make the different lines.